To those who have spent time with a young toddler running around who seems completely oblivious to a dirty nappy, the idea that newborn babies actually have an instinct not to soil themselves seems insane. Nappies are the ultimate symbol of babyhood, and we believe that being sprayed with newborn wee is a rite of passage. But we fail to see that we have been conditioned to think these are normal, not to mention the fact that we are also conditioning our babies to use the nappy as a toilet. When you think about it, why would babies evolve to communicate only their hunger and tiredness, but not their hygiene needs? Babies are in fact born with an awareness of their bodily functions and the desire to stay clean and dry. Just as babies naturally learn to walk and talk through exposure and practice, toileting is another developmental process with many skills required for full mastery. As Jean Liedloff explains in her book, The Continuum Concept, human beings are born with an expectation of how they will be cared for, shaped by hundreds and thousands of years of life in small, close-knit tribal communities.
So that the baby arrives, and I insist that it has an innate expectation that it will be among trustworthy allies. The voice of nature, this is the voice of not intellectually interfered with or interfered with in any way. This is the straight, clear, pure voice of nature.
While staying with a South American tribe, she noticed that babies rarely soiled themselves or their parents. So, if you take account that a study found observable elimination signals in over 90% of babies, babies commonly wee as soon as the nappy is removed, and when held in a supported squat, young babies will often just wee or poo immediately, strongly suggests that babies expect their toileting needs to be taken care of outside of the nappy. In 1958 in Britain, 47% of babies were out of nappies by 12 months. And by 18 months, that rose up to 83%. Whereas now the average is 3 or 4 years old. So what on earth changed? Since disposable nappies became mainstream in our culture around the 1970s, our toileting habits have really rapidly changed. But around the world, many cultures still practice baby pottying, in particular in parts of Asia and Africa. So in Kenya, for example, the Digo people,
which assumed that the child could learn at birth, the mother began interacting with the child's communications and vocalizations related to bowel and bladder issues with a systematic approach of sitting and vocalization, and that resulted in a child which was night and day dry by 3 to 5 months.
In Thailand, a study from 2011 showed that most babies begin potty learning between 4 and 12 months, with around half of them completely trained by 12 months. In Vietnam, a study from 2012 showed that nappies were used rarely and that babies used the potty by 12 months, and by 2 years old they were expected to use the toilet completely independently.